Race number 1, top of the stretch, has Whisper Genie, I Am Twin Star, Hexton, Marmashidino, Scandia Hannibal, Spartan Apollo, Grand Deek Rose, Matricial B, and Crystal Skipper. They're off and pacing at the rail. Whisper Genie's away to grab the early lead. Hexton up on the outside, on the far outside, and moving up looking for the lead is Spartan Apollo. And Spartan Apollo takes over as they move by the opening 8th. Out the rail, Whisper Genie second. Hexton parked out third. Crystal Skipper gets away up the rail in 4. From 5, that's I Am Twin Star as they move down the backstretch, approaching the opening quarter. Hexton on the outside is battling Spartan Apollo for the lead. Down inside of the pocket is Whisper Genie third. Crystal Skipper is racing from 4. Up on the outside and parked out in 5 is Grand Deek Rose. I Am Twin Star takes a look from 6. At the rail in 7 is Marmashidino. Scandia Hannibal on the outside 8. And at 9th and treading the field is Matricial B. They were past the opening quarter in 31 1/5 second. Off the turn and through the stretch they come for time 1. Spartan Apollo shows the way to the half. Parked on the outside and going a tough journey. Hexton second. Getting the golden trip is Whisper Genie third. Second over Crystal Skipper in 4. At the rail, I Am Twin Star has 5. Third over in 6 is Grand Deek Rose. Then Marmashidino, Scandia Hannibal, and Matricial B can see them all as they move on to the 5/8. They were past the half in 1:02 3/5 seconds. Spartan Apollo still there by 3 parts of a length. Hexton on the outside is second. In the pocket, locked in, Whisper Genie third. Crystal Skipper now going up 3 wide on the outside as they approach 3/4. Crystal Skipper now forging to the top. Spartan Apollo is racing second. On the outside, that's Grand Deek Rose pacing third. On the inside, Whisper Genie still locked in for 3 wide is Scandia Hannibal from 5. They move on to the 7/8. Crystal Skipper by a length and a half. Scandia Hannibal on the far outside moves on for second. At the rail, Spartan Apollo is racing third. Grand Deek Rose on the outside 4th. Nowhere to go, Whisper Genie in 5. They move off the top turn and straighten out for the payoff. Led by Crystal Skipper. Scandia Hannibal on the outside is racing second in the passing lane. Whisper Genie. Crystal Skipper will win it. Finishing second is Scandia Hannibal. Whisper Genie getting up the passing lane for third. Riding back in victory lane, the first race winner, number 9, Crystal Skipper, a 10-year-old mare by Laura Skipper, by Frank Fraser and Alec McDougall. Danny Romo driving, mile in 2:06 4/5. Race number 2, Ciro Stratus, Dolly Finesse, A Little Sport, Kilkerran Jewel, Durham's First, T-Bear Paper Doll, and a Racketeer. They're off and pacing. Ciro Stratus from the rail grabs the early lead. A Little Sport driving out second. Dolly Finesse will tuck in racing third, followed by Kilkerran Jewel 4th. Durham's First is wide racing in 5 as they move on to the backstretch for time 1. Out front, Ciro Stratus leads it by a length and a half. Nearly ready second. Dolly Finesse third. Durham's First parked out in 4. At the rail racing in 5 is Kilkerran Jewel. T-Bear Paper Doll looks at it from 6 in the early going, and a Racketeer is 7th and treading and moving to the outside. They continue past the opening station. Ciro Stratus leading it by 3/4 of a length. On the inside, nearly ready, reclaiming second. Backing up third on the limb is Durham's First. Out the rail is Dolly Finesse racing from 4 with cover. A Racketeer on the limb in 5. Kilkerran Jewel has 6th, and now 7th and treading is T-Bear Paper Doll. They were past the quarter in 30 2/5 seconds. They move through the stretch. Ciro Stratus by 2 lengths. Outside, Durham's First gets the parking ticket second. Getting a good journey in the inside. A Little Sport is racing third, followed 4th by Dolly Finesse. On the outside in 5 is a Racketeer. Racing in 6th is Kilkerran Jewel, and T-Bear Paper Doll is still treading the field. They were by the half in 1:02 1/5 second onto the backstretch for the final time. Ciro Stratus still leading it by 2 lengths. Now quickly on the outside and moving up to give chase second is a Racketeer. Dropping back, A Little Sport third. 3 wide, T-Bear Paper Doll in a 4. Outside Durham's first, backing up 5 on the inside. Dolly Finesse has 6, and 3 wide from the back is Kilker and Jewel. They move on to the top turn. Zero Stratus by half a length. Outside and racing second is a Racketeer. Locked in the pocket is a Little Sport racing third. They continue on past the 7/8, 133 and 3 3/4. Less than 1/8 to come. Zero Stratus clings to the lead. A Racketeer is right there. Second, Little Sport looks for room down inside third. They drive through the lane. Zero Stratus, a Racketeer on the outside. Zero Stratus, a Racketeer reaching up to win it. Zero Stratus is second, a Little Sport third. Riding back, the second race winner, number 7, a Racketeer, a 2-year-old filly by Nukes Lobel. Over Wayne Burley of Truro, trained by Phil Lyons, Earl Smith driving. Mile in 2:04 and 4/5. Race number 3 has Phillips Express, NS Playboy, Jade Accolade, Mr. PETA, Wheeled Warrior, Nearly Ready, Indigo Blue Haven, PH Dusty, and Sonoma Benbolt. They are off and pacing. Phillips Express away from the rail grabs the early lead. Driving up on the outside is Wheeled Warrior. Down inside, NS Playboy grabs the seat racing third. As they head by the 8th and into the backstretch. Moving up is Indigo Blue Haven to find room at the rail in 4. Pacing in 5 is Mr. PETA on the outside and racing 6. As they continue down the backside is Nearly Ready. They move on to the opening quarter. Moving up to take charge, that's Wheeled Warrior leading it by 1. Phillips Express sits tied up second. Next in line racing third, NS Playboy. In 4 is Indigo Blue Haven. Nearly Ready has 5. PH Dusty on the outside is 6. Mr. PETA races from 7. Sonoma Benbolt has 8, and Jade Accolade is 9th and trailing the field. They were by the opening quarter in 29 and 2/5 seconds. They move off the top turn, and Phillips Express moving on to recapture the top spot as they approach the halfway point. Wheeled Warrior is now racing second on the inside and pacing third. As they race in front of the grandstand is NS Playboy. From 4 is Indigo Blue Haven. Nearly Ready stepping first over in 4. They race into the lower turn. Also moving out is NS Playboy. They continue on to the 5/8. Phillips Express still in control of the field. Wheeled Warrior second. NS Playboy coming first up third. Nearly Ready covered up on the outside from 4. Indigo Blue Haven is racing in 5. Mr. PETA shows 6. PH Dusty in 7. Sonoma Benbolt and Jade Accolade. The half was in 1-1 and 4. They're midway through the backstretch. On the inside, holding a slim lead is Phillips Express. NS Playboy giving chase on the outside, second. On the inside, Wheeled Warrior races third. Nearly Ready from 4. Indigo Blue Haven has 5. Mr. PETA races out of 6. Jade Accolade has 7. They're midway through the final turn. Phillips Express still holds the lead. NS Playboy's right there second. Wheeled Warrior sits in the pocket third. Nearly Ready on the outside racing from 4. Indigo Blue Haven has 5. They make the final turn. Phillips Express trying to hold them off. On the outside, Nearly Ready is closing up quickly. Wheeled Warrior in the passing lane. Phillips Express, Nearly Ready. Nearly Ready. Phillips Express and the show spot to Wheeled Warrior. Back the third race winner, number 6, Nearly Ready, a 2-year-old colt by Entirely Ready. Over Ron Hoare of Truro, Jim Davis driving. Mile in 2:06. Scratch number 6, Harrier. Fourth race of the afternoon, Ruffian Last, Battle Schubach, Hillview Alora, Lamborghini's Pride, Scalopine, Chalon UBU, Naylor Park, Empress K4, and Ease Wave. They're off and pacing. Hillview Alora against the first call. Ruffian Last driving alertly from the rail. Battle Schubach Crosses over to grab a seat, racing third. Shalon UBU on the outside is fourth. Ease Wave at the rail in 5. Lamborghini's Pride gets away racing in 6. Empress K4 on the limb from 7. Scallopine has 8. And the treader is Naylor Park. They move down the backside, approaching the opening quarter. On top, leading by a length and a half, Hillview Alora. In the pocket is Raffian last, parked outside, Shalon UBU third. On the inside and racing out of 4 is Battle Shubaki's Wave. Takes a look in 5, moving to the outside, Lamborghini's Pride from 6. Empress K4 holds down 7. Scallopine has 1 horse beaten. That's Naylor Park as they continue on by the 3/8. 29 1/5 second was the opening quarter. They make their way off the top turn. Hillview Alora shows the way as they enter the stretch. Shalon UBU goes a tough trip on the outside. In the pocket as they approach the halfway point is Ruffian last with cover. Lamborghini's Pride outside is 4th. Inside in 5 is Battle Shubak. 6th on the outside is Empress K4. Then Ease Wave, Scallopine, and Naylor Park is still trailing. They dip into the bend, moving to the 5/8. Hillview Alora by 3 parts of a length. Shalon UBU hangs tough on the outside, 2nd. Locked in 3rd is Ruffian last. Lamborghini's Pride getting a second over. Journey Racing 4th. Nowhere to go on the inside in 5 is Battle Shubak. Scallopine is coming 3 wide out of 6. They move past the 3/4. Hillview Alora leads them by 3/4 of a length. Shalon UBU on the outside is still racing 2nd. Ruffian last awaits the passing lane inside 3rd. Scallopine out there 3 wide. Continues on from 4. Lamborghini's Pride caught in traffic in the center in 5. And the inside looking for room. Battle Shubak 6. They move off the top turn 132 and 3 the 3/4. Hillview Alora continues at the front end by a length. Sitting in the pocket is Ruffian last. He goes to the passing lane. Through the stretch they come. Hillview Alora, Ruffian last, Scallopine on the inside. Ruffian last gets up to win it. Hillview Alora 2nd, Scallopine is 3rd. Trading back, the 4th race winner, number 1, Ruffian last, a 5-year-old by Lada Truss. Don Farrell of St. John, Trampoline Privet, Jason McDougall driving. The mile in 2:04. Race number 5, Dunmore McCoy, Parkhurst, Moscow Joe, Helen's Memory, Tarwin Ready, Cobequid Noble, Paradox, and Glenora Fern. They're off and pacing. Paradox from the outside is away looking for the lead against Parkhurst, and out the rail is Dunmore McCoy. Helen's Memory will grab a seat out the rail in 4. Moscow Joe comes away racing in 5. From 6 is Tarwin Ready. Settling in is Cobequid Noble in 7. And the early treader is Glenora Fern. They move down the backside for time 1 as they approach the opening quarter. Out front, leading the way by 1 length, Parkhurst. Paradox looks to tuck in the pocket. Dunmore McCoy. And the inside is racing 3rd. Facing out of 4 is Helen's Memory. Then Moscow Joe has 5. Tarwin Ready in 6. Cobequid Noble races in 7. 8th and treading is Glenora Fern. A single file as they move past the 3/8. Up front, it's Parkhurst dictating the early pace. He leads it by 1 length. Paradox is sitting tight up 2nd. Moving up on the outside, Helen's Memory first over 3rd. Dunmore McCoy now locked in at the rail racing in 4. 2nd over and pacing 5 is Moscow Joe, followed by Tarwin Ready in 6. Then Cobequid Noble. And Glenora Fern is still trailing. 28 2 was the opening quarter. They race into the lower turn, moving out of the 5/8. Parker still in control. Helen's Memory now putting the pressure onto the outside. 2nd to the inside, locked in racing. 3rd is Paradox. Moscow Joe getting a 2nd over trip, racing 4th. The half in a minute flat. They enter the backstretch for the final time. Parkhurst by half a length. Helen's Memory on the outside is 2nd. Paradox hemmed in 3rd. Moscow Joe is racing on the outside 4th. Down inside, racing in 5 is Dunmore McCoy. On the limb, Tarwin Ready has 6. Then Cobequid Noble and Glenora Fern. They head on to the top turn. Parkhurst is still the boss by 3/4 of a length. Helen's Memory right there 2nd. Paradox down inside is sitting 3rd. On the outside, 2nd over 4th is Moscow Joe. Dunmore McCoy races in 5. 3/4 in 1:30 and 1. They straighten out for the payoff. Parkhurst is there now by 2 lengths. Paradox is going to the passing lane. Now stepping to the outside, but Parkhurst is going to hold on to win it. Paradox is second, third is Helen's Memory. Riding back the 5th race winner on a placing, number 7 Paradox, a 5-year-old mare by Quality Blue Chip, owned by Carl and Trevor Delaney, trained and driven to victory by Danny Romo. Race number 6 of the afternoon, the Dairy Queen Futurity 2-year-old pacing colts. First elimination, Maple Grove Gemini, Nickway Rafferty, and Partial Observer, Vagabond Victor. Just a little action. Acton Bold and Jaguar Knight. Here they come. They're off and pacing off stride. Nickway Rafferty, just a little action. Fires out alertly looking for the lead against Maple Grove Gemini. They move into the first turn. And away on top from the rail is Maple Grove Gemini. Just a little action settles in second. Jaguar Knight gets away racing third, followed by Vagabond Victor in the 4th spot. Impartial Observer gets away pacing in 5. From 6 is Acton Bold, and treading after the miscue living. As they move past the quarter is Nickway Rafferty, but out front Maple Grove Gemini shows the way by a length and a half. Just a little action in pursuit second. Jaguar Knight next in line is third. Taking a look out of 4 is Vagabond Victor. Impartial Observer is pacing in 5. Acton Bold moves to the outside in 6, and Nickway Rafferty is at the back. 29 2/5 seconds the opening quarter. They make their way off the top turn, approaching the halfway point. Maple Grove Gemini showing the way. Here comes Jaguar Knight now up on the outside, a challenge for the lead as they hit the halfway point. Outside, Jaguar Knight now takes over the lead. Maple Grove Gemini is racing second. On the inside, just a little action races third. Vagabond Victor going to the outside in 4. Acton Bold has 5. Impartial Observer races from 6, and Nickway Rafferty. They're over the half in a minute, 4/5. Down the backstretch, final time. Jaguar Knight by a length and a half. Maple Grove Gemini. Here comes Vagabond Victor now charging up on the outside. Just a little action out the rail is racing 4th. They move on past the 3/4. Jaguar Knight leads it by 3/4 of a length. Vagabond Victor taking aim second. On the inside, Maple Grove Gemini's third. Just a little action now coming up and stepping 3 wide. They move past the 7/8. At the rail, Jaguar Knight. Vagabond Victor in the center. Just a little action. Gearing up on the outside, 3 deep. 1:30 and 3 the 3/4. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Vagabond Victor leads them to the payoff. Just a little action to the outside. Operating back into victory lane, the first elimination winner, the Dairy Queen Futurity for 2-year-old pacing colts, number 4 in your program, Vagabond Victor. Is a 2-year-old bay, son of Sherwood Abe, out of the dam Avon Vixen, owned and bred by Stuart McCrae of Badek, Nova Scotia, trained and driven to victory by Dave Pinkney. Vagabond Victor winning in 2:01 and 1/5. In victory lane, making the cooler presentation from the Stewiacke Dairy Queen, Mr. Don Ross, joined by Ken Starrett of the Maritime Breeders' Association, presenting the winning cooler to Vagabond Victor, owner Stuart McCrae, and driver Dave Pinkney. Race number 7, Opinions Jim, Fairly Dandy, C.A. McD, Island Link, 3 A's and a C, BC's Majestic, Maldo Last, Dutifully, and Sky Glen IWK. They're off and pacing. Opinions Jim away from the rail, looks for the lead. Fairly Dandy drives out in the center. 3 wide is CA McD racing third. They head for the opening 8th into the backstretch. Fairly Dandy emerges on top on the outside. Racing second is CA McD at the rail. Opinions Jim gets away sitting in 3. At the rail and racing in 4 is Maldo last, followed by Island Link in 5. 3 A's and a C has 6. Sky Glen IWK races at a 7. BC's Majestic holds down 8th. As they move past the quarter, the trailer is Udafane. Out front, Fairly Dandy sets the early tempo, leads the field by 2 lengths. Opinions Jim as they race into the turn and out of the 3/8. Fairly Dandy racing second. CA McD. Opinions Jim is racing third. On the inside and pacing at a 4 is Maldo last. Outside, 3 A's and a C moving first up in 5. Island Link is now locked in at the rail in 6. They round the turn and approach the half. Fairly Dandy continuing to set the fractions. A 2-length advantage over CA McD. At the rail, Opinions Jim is still racing third. Looking to the outside in the 4 spot is Maldo last. Island Link has 5. 3 A's and a C races at a 6 on the outside and pacing in 7 is Sky Glen IWK. Then Udafane and BC's Majestic is at the back. The half was reached in 1:01 and 1/5 second. They move down the backstretch. Final time. Fairly Dandy. Opinions Jim on the outside now moves on for the lead. Up on the limb and racing third. Maldo last. Sky Glen IWK is moving up now to give chase second. They head into the turn. Opinions Jim. Sky Glen IWK on the outside second. BC's Majestic joins the fray third. On the inside racing in 4. Maldo last. 3 A's and a C has 5. They're 3 deep as they make the final turn. On the inside, Opinions Jim. Sky Glen IWK in the center. BC's Majestic 3 wide third through the stretch. 132 and 3 3/4. BC's Majestic on the outside. On the inside, Sky Glen IWK. BC's Majestic, Sky Glen IWK. And the show spot going to Island Link. Heading back into the winners enclosure, the 7th race winner, number 6, BC's Majestic, a 3-year-old gelded son of Majestic Yankee, over Harlan and Eric Smith, trained and driven by Bernard McCollum. Mile in 2:03 and 4/5. Race number 8, entirely Mike's. Turnic Joe Ranger, Mac Combo, Cole Sarah, Fit and Chips, PH Terminator, Escorts A, Baker Who, and MD Waverly. They're off and pacing at the rail, entirely Mike's. Turnic Joe Ranger. Up on the outside, Cole Sarah is 3 wide racing third. MD Waverly gets away 4th. PH Terminator is 4 deep into the first turn, racing out of 5. 3 wide as they head by the opening 8th. In the center, Turnic Joe Ranger now comes away on top. Entirely Mike's away second at the rail. Marked on the outside and caught 3 wide is Cole Sarah. Outside, PH Terminator is sitting in 4th. Out the rail, MD Waverly from 5, followed by Mac Combo in 6. Fit and Chips has 7, Escorts Abe in 8. And Baker Who is 9th and trailing the field. They move on to the 3/8. Turnic Joe Ranger leads the way. Had them past the quarter in 29 and 1/5 second. Cole Sarah gets the parking ticket second. On the inside, Entirely Mike's races from 3. Second over is PH Terminator 4th. On the inside, MD Waverly has 5. Mac Combo to the outside from 6. Through the stretch they come. Turnic Joe Ranger still leading it by half a length. Cole Sarah on the outside gets parked out second. Down inside and getting the golden trip. Entirely Mike's is third. PH Terminator second over in 4. MD Waverly locked in at the rail in 5. Mac Combo races on the outside from 6. Fit and Chips has 7. Baker Who in 8. And Escorts Abe is now at the back of the field. They're over the half in a minute, 1/5 second down the backside. Final time. Turnic Joe Ranger still there by 3/4 of a length. Cole Sarah on the outside. Mac Combo is out there 3 wide now racing third. Entirely Mike's hemmed in 4th. Wide and pacing in 5 is Baker Who, dropping back PH Terminator in 6. They move into the turn, 3 deep as they approach the 7/8. Mac Combo out there 3 wide. is battling Turnic Joe Ranger for the lead. In the center, Cole Sarah still hanging tough third. Out there, 3 wide, Baker Who fourth. Escort Abe now showing some pace in the extreme outside. 1:32.1. Escort Abe is out there 4 wide as they make the final turn. Through the stretch they come. Escort Abe has taken over the lead. Operating back in victory lane, the 8th race winner. Number 7, Escorts Abe, a 2-year-old black son of Sherwood Abe, out of the dam Escorts Made, owned by Eric Webby of Dartmouth, trained and driven to victory by Robert Laffin. A mile in 2:02 and 4/5. Race number 9, Pepper Allen, Danger Bear, Island Inverness, Naughty Bean, Super Bowl Shuffle, Fernhill Bonnie, Trey Grand, Kalmar Dynasty, and Fleet Director. They're off and pacing away, looking for the lead is Island Inverness. Driving out quickly from the rail is Pepper Allen. Trey Grand is hustled up in the early going. On the limb, 3 wide, racing third. Settling in as they move on by the 8th is Fernhill Bonnie in 4. They continue on to the opening quarter at the rail. Pepper Allen comes away on top. Trey Grand on the outside is sitting second. Down inside, settling in, Island Inverness third. Fernhill Bonnie looks at it from 4, followed by Naughty Bean in 5. Fleet Director races in 6 as they move past the opening quarter. Facing in 7, that's Danger Bear, then Super Bowl Shuffle, and at the back of the field is Kalmar Dynasty. They move on to the 3/8. Leading the way by 1 length is Pepper Allen. Giving chase in the pocket, Trey Grand. Here comes Fernhill Bonnie now up on the outside. First over, 28 3/5 seconds was the opening quarter. Through the stretch, they approach the halfway point. On the outside, that's Fernhill Bonnie now driving up, looking for the lead from Pepper Allen. Down at the rail and pacing out of 3 as they move into the turn is Trey Grand. Fernhill Bonnie now clears the lead, has it by 1 length over Pepper Allen. Trey Grand looking to the outside third. Island Inverness paces in 4 on the outside. Danger Bear 5th. 59 2/5 seconds was the half. Down the backstretch, off stride goes Pepper Allen. As they continue on past the 3/4, it's Fernhill Bonnie leading it now by 3 lengths. Also off stride was Danger Bear. They move into the turn. Fernhill Bonnie by 2.5. Trey Grand is giving chase out of 2. Naughty Bean holds down at 3. Outside is Fleet Director in 4. 1:29 3 the 3/4. 1/8 left to come. Leading them off the top turn is Fernhill Bonnie, now just by a length. Trey Grand a closer second. Naughty Bean is pacing out of 3 through the stretch for the final time. Fernhill Bonnie, Trey Grand on the outside. Fernhill Bonnie, Trey Grand. Fernhill Bonnie holding on. Trey Grand second. Super Bowl Shuffle gets up to finish third. Riding back into victory lane, the 9th race winner, number 6 in your card, Fernhill Bonnie, a 5-year-old daughter of Tarport Irvin, owned by Brian McLeod of Truro. Claire McDonald catch driving. A mile in 2:02. Race number 10, the second elimination of the Dairy Queen Futurity for 2-year-old colts. Flaming feature, Glengyle Brandon, King Harold, Blue Mineral first, Bruno's Only Boy, Cash Under the Table, Acton's Heritage, and Super Acton. Here they come. They're off and pacing. King Harold fires off the gate alertly, looking for the lead. Down at the rail, Flaming Features driving out second. Glengyle Brandon gets away racing third. Up on the limb, Cash Under the Table. Acton's Heritage on the limb. is pacing out of 5 down inside, and looking out at 6th as they head for the opening quarter is Blue Mineral first. They drive down the backstretch, approaching the quarter. On the outside, Cash under the table now drives onto the lead. On the inside, King Harold second. Here comes Acton's Heritage now quickly on the outside. Driving up, looking for command as they race into the turn. Acton's Heritage on the outside. At the rail is Cash under the table. They were past the opening quarter in 29 seconds. Up on the outside, Glengyle Brandon is moving up. They continue off the top turn and approach the halfway point. 29 seconds was the opening quarter. Watch it, gentlemen, as you go to the 7/8. We have a horse down at the 7/8, gentlemen. They race into the lower turn. Out front, leading the way, is Acton's Heritage. Racing on the outside. In a 2 is Glengyle Brandon. Cash under the table on the inside is pacing third. King Harold takes a look from 4. On the outside, Super Acton has 5. Blue Mineral first, races from 6. Down the backside, final time, 59 2/5 seconds was the half. On the outside, that's Glengyle Brandon battling Acton's Heritage for the lead. Down inside and pacing from 3 is Super Acton. They continue into the turn and on past the 7/8. Out front, Acton's Heritage leads the way. Racing second is Glengyle Brandon. Super Acton pacing in third. Cash under the table is fourth. In 5. As they move off the top turn is King Harold. 1:30 and 4 the 3/4. They straighten out for the final time. Acton's Heritage has it under control. Leads it by 2 lengths. Glengyle Brandon in pursuit second. Racing third is Super Acton. But it's Acton's Heritage who wins it by 2 lengths. Second, Glengyle Brandon. Super Acton finishes third. Back in victory lane, the winner of the Dairy Queen Futurity 2-year-old pacing colt second elimination. Number 7 in your program, Acton's Heritage, a 2-year-old base son of Armbro Acton. Out of the dam Heritage Dream, over Lewis Clark of Sydney Mines. Trained and driven to victory by Danny Romo. Acton's Heritage was bred by Roderick McLeod of PEI. Acton's Heritage winning the second elimination of the Dairy Queen Futurity in 2:03 and 2/5. In victory lane, making the cooler presentation on behalf of Dairy Queen, Mr. Don Ross from the Stewiacke Dairy Queen, joined by Ken Sterrett of the Maritime Breeders Association. Race number 11, the top of the stretch, has Kilkerran Fury, Musket Abbott, Big Gene, Rum Major, Core Skipper, and Who's Your General. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Kilkerran Fury down at the rail gets away looking for the lead. Rum Major driving up alertly on the outside is second. Musket Abbott gets away third. Core Skipper on the outside is racing fourth. Down inside, Big Gene from 5. And 6th and treading is Who's Your General. They move on to the backstretch for time 1 as they approach the opening quarter. Out front, Kilkerran Fury shows the way, leads it by 2 lengths. Racing along second is Rum Major. Getting parked out, Core Skipper is driving up on the outside third and driving on looking for the lead. They head into the turn. Core Skipper on the outside now takes over from Kilkerran Fury. Down at the rail is Rum Major pacing out of 3. In 4, that's Musket Abbott. Big Gene has 5. And 6th and treading is Who's Your General. Opening quarter in 29 and 2/5 seconds. They move off the top turn, approaching the halfway point. Core Skipper out front leads it by a length. Kilkerran Fury staying right with him second, then a gap of 2.5 lengths. Back into 3 and Rum Major. From 4 is Musket Abbott. To the outside in 5 is Big Gene. And still at the back is Who's Your General. They race into the turn, moving out of the 5/8. 59 seconds was the half. Core Skipper maintaining a 1-length advantage with Kilkerran Fury racing second. There goes Rum Major first over third. Big G now with cover on the outside, fourth. Musket Oven in 5, and Who's Your General's at the back. They're midway down the backstretch. Coors Skipper still leading it by length. Rum Major sits on the outside second. Down at the rail and pacing third is Kilkerran Fury. On the limb from 4 is Big Gene. Musket Oven in 5, and Who's Your General is still at the back. 1:29 and 1 the 3/4. They're midway through the final turn. Coors Skipper leading it by 3/4 of a length. Rum Major now taking aim second. Kilkerran Fury trying to hang in third. They make the final turn. Coors Skipper continues to lead the way. Rum Major on the outside. Coors Skipper, Rum Major, Coors Skipper will win it. Finishing second is Rum Major. It looks like Big Gene getting up for third. Now heading back in victory lane, the 11th race winner, number 5, Coors Skipper. He's a 4-year-old brown gelded son of Dynamic Skipper out of the Tarport Irvin Dam Tarport Ruby. By Cornelius Pickers of Marguerite Forks, trained by Claire McDonald. Ken McDonald drives. The mile in 1:59 and 1/5. Twelfth and final dash, R.E.'s Gary, Shadows Brash, Selkirk Bandit, Liberty Gold, Kalmar Glory, Lady Maxine B, Noble Vic, Mardon's Kahlua, and Kilkerran Jade. They're off and pacing. R.E.'s Gary away looking for the lead. Selkirk Bandit leaving on the outside. Kalmar Glory is 3 deep into the first turn as they head for the opening 8th on the far outside. That's Mardon's Kahlua caught 4 wide as they head by the 8th. R.E.'s Gary at the rail comes away on top. Kalmar Glory outside is second, 3 wide. Mardon's Kahlua third. Selkirk Bandit down on the inside is racing fourth. Parked outside and racing in 5 is Lady Maxine B. Down at the rail from 6 past the opening quarter and into the turn. Out front, leading the way on the outside is Kalmar Glory by 3/4 of a length. On the inside, R.E.'s Gary controls the rail second. Mardon's Kahlua finds a seat third. Selkirk Bandit is racing out of 4. Outside, Lady Maxine B parked out in 5. From 6 as they round the top turn is Kilkerran Jade at 30 seconds. The opening quarter through the stretch. They approach the half. R.E.'s Gary reclaiming the lead. Parking out Kalmar Glory as they check in at the halfway point on the inside and pacing out of 3 is Mardon's Kahlua. Covered up, Lady Maxine B on the limb is 4th. 5th is Selkirk Bandit. Shadows Brash racing 3rd over in 6th. Kilkerran Jade has 7. Liberty Gold from 8. And Noble Vic is 9th and trailing. They were past the half in a minute. 4/5 down the backstretch for the final time. Out front and still leading is R.E.'s Gary. There goes Lady Maxine B going up 3 wide. Now to give chase second. Kalmar Glory races 3rd. Shadows Brash is 3 wide from 4. They head past the 3/4. R.E.'s Gary at the rail. Lady Maxine B on the outside. Shadows Brash is well spotted on the limb 3rd. Kalmar Glory is now at the rail 4th. Liberty Gold 3 wide out of 5. Kilkerran Jade 6th. 3/4 in 1:33 and 4/5 seconds. Less than 1/8 to come. Lady Maxine B. R.E.'s Gary fighting back gamely at the rail. Shadows Brash is fanning out 3 wide for the stretch drive. Lady Maxine B now taking over. At the rail, R.E.'s Gary and Shadows Brash. Lady Maxine B wins it. Shadows Brash second. Trading back, the 12th race winner, number 6, Lady Maxine B, a 4-year-old mare by Maxie B. Owned by Steve Morton, trained by Robert Took. Jim Davis driving. The model in 2:06 and 1/5.